I'd like to say thank you all for being an activity and participate during those circumstances I will experience the current social political climate. In the past month, we have mobilized to fight for social inequities, while at the same time retiring Black Lives Matter movement to recognize Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. dreams are not yet achieved. Now, I want to emphasize that people are still struggling after decades. Martin Luther King is important to me and for many people around the United States because he was a freedom fighter that I admire and who had a goal to change the lives of the African American. Likewise, dreamers living in the United States today are fighting for their civil rights. I admire this person because he fought not only for himself, he fought for many people around in the United States, especially for the black people. Today I would like to inform about Martin Luther King Jr., who got the famous speech I Had a Dream. I believe this speech is very relevant to our current times. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led a movement for social justice for African Americans more than 50 years ago, and his message lives on in Black Lives Matter. Like dreamers today facing similar challenges to their civil rights. Ultimately, I will talk briefly about freedom fighter Martin Luther King Jr. as a leader who fought against segregation and for equality using non-violent demonstration and got activists to achieve their dreams. His methods are still valid today. Now it's time to remember who is Dr. Martin King Luther Jr. and some relevant history. He was born in January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. He was a social activist who was a leader in the civil rights movement and advocated for social justice in the United States. His great leadership was a fundamental to achieve success in end the legal segregation of African Americans in the United States. Martin Luther King Jr. he began his struggle to persuade the United States government to declare the policy of racial discrimination in the southern state unlawful. The racists respond with violence to the black people, not violent initiative. Wherever he remained, first in what he believed. 1963 March in Washington. This event is very relevant in the history about the Martin Luther King. At the 1953 March, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who got this famous speech, I Had a Dream. He had a dream that his 4 children would one day live in the nation where they would not be judged by the color in their skin, but rather by their character. I Had a Dream is the famous speech and relevant to our current times. I had to mention African Americans start to fight for their equal and civil rights, just like dreamers today. Those events have a great impact on our society, especially on me, because the speech I had in was heard by 250,000 people folks who were that day. Ladies and gentlemen, this historical event and movement as studied in the history of the United States. Dr. Martin King Jr. talked about people who fight for social justice and achieve their dreams. Each people in this country has a dream. I want to say to everyone, Everyone will be inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King to complete your dreams, to will be realistic your dreams. Like dreamers in African America, they fighting for their dreams actually in the future for great treatments for us society. Thank you very much. Do you have any question?